Okay, so today what I'm going to do is show you how we are going to prepare for the day for the simulators. So this is something that should be done either by the staff that come in first thing in the morning, or if there is a dedicated sim person. So this is one of the opening procedures now. So obviously we want to have these lights on, and we'll put those on afterwards so I don't have to get up on the chair. So these are the two computers. This computer here, you turn it on right here. This is the point of sale. So this is just like the front desk computer, and here is the code if you need the code to enter the computer. Very easy. Whoops. Okay, so we're gonna just log in. You can just click OK. Sometimes you get a little warning. And up here where it says POS2, when we double click on this, it's going to start up Club Speed on this computer. So now that we have online bookings, this is where you would look to see if there were online bookings. There's no need to watch for online bookings unless you have someone who is a walk-in customer who is here for sim racing. Then you just want to make sure that there are no bookings at that time. So what we're going to do is we're going to go to the calendar view here. So in the calendar view here, you can see all of the bookings for the races. So this is for Speed World. This is the go-kart track here. And then we have Sims 1, 2, and then there's 3 and 4. So as when we go up here on this computer, I'm just going to deselect that. So we can see Sim Basic 1, Sim Basic 2, Sim Advanced 1, which is Sim 3. And then if we move the toolbar over, we will see Sim Advanced 2, which is number 4. So as you can see, there are no bookings here. However, we're just going to bring this one back up here again, the Speed World one, just so I can show you, because it will work the exact same. So as you can see here in the Speed World one, so for example, there's a booking at 11:20 for Haley McCullough. And if we go to the venue screen, which is currently up on Speed World 1, and we scroll down to 11:20, here is Haley McCullough, okay? So the same thing will apply for the Sims. So you would be able to go up here in the venue screen, and here's the Sims. So you can only display one at a time. Obviously none of these have any races today, but if there was, for example, here's Sim Basic 1. Let's go down to right now, which is, oops, like at 8 a.m. So if I go to here, let's say every half hour, I wanted to add someone into a sim race, I would double click this, I would select. See, this is automatically going to select non-motion because Sim 1 and Sim 2 basic are non, and you would just add this. And then you would be adding a customer. So if I try to add this driver in, this Maxim, whatever the heck his name is, it is not going to allow it, you'll see. Okay, see, it does not have any sim credits. So that is why we will, when we purchase the sim races, we assign the driver. So now they will have the sim credits and you'll be able to put them into their sim races. Okay, so that's the first thing for the day. Number 2, we're gonna start up the sim computer. It's very simple, just click sign in, it comes up automatically. Now, everything is already up here as we can see. So we're just going to minimize it. And I'm just going to show you where you would find the information. So if you were to start up this computer for some reason, it had powered down, which shouldn't happen, you're going to open VMS Desktop and you're going to open Server Manager. So these are the two that you're going to open here. So Desktop and Server Manager. So don't close any of these things down here. They're just minimized. So I'm going to bring up the Assetto Corsa. So this is the Assetto Corsa. And then we're going to bring up this one here, which is the desktop. Now, if ever these items are missing, these can be found under Window. So if you go up to Window, you'll see fastest time, fastest lap time results, pod allocation, which is right there, circuit viewer, which we all know what that is, pod controls right there, Assetto Corsa controls, again, right there, and launch controls, which are right there. So very simple. This is where you will find everything that you need. And we can see that these lights are orange, which means that all of these simulators are currently powered on. So they are on, I would call this standby. So if these items were red, then you would know that the simulator was probably powered off because it's not connecting to the VMS software. So to start the day, the first thing that I do is I am going to launch all the sims on the track. So I just select Monza full course, and then I like to select a car that actually has, the the traction control and ABS. So I'm going to just select the Ferrari 488 because it's my favorite. So now I'm going to launch the simulator in all, oops, I only launched 3, so I made a mistake there. So we're gonna launch all 4 simulators here. Now don't be alarmed that it's gonna flash. It's just trying to start up the game right now because it's actually on the desktop for the pods. And remember that you cannot put these cars on track until you see the cars listed here. So we'll need to see the cars listed here. And then once those cars are listed, it's coming. Come on, pod 3. Let's do this again for pod 3. Let's relaunch that one. Let's see what happens here. All right, come on. Okay, so all of the pods are all now launched, and we're going to put all the pods on track. So under set of Corsa controls, I'm going to just put them all on track, and then we're going to go in there and make sure that everything is functioning properly. Here we go. Okay, so now we're in pods 1 and 2. What we're going to do to make sure that the pods are ready to go for the customers is, number 1, I move the seats all the way back. This gives you room, and it ensures that you're going to tell the customer that they can move the seat. Then I'm going to take the headphones, since I can't hear the engine running right now, and I'm going to ensure that the headphones are actually working. So I'm going to just put them on my head while I do this and keep talking. So right now I can hear the engine running, so that's great. So the car is currently on track. So I'm going to check that all the buttons work. So traction control, you're going to look up here, and that is working. I see the numbers changing. ABS is working. It's also up here. And then we're going to check the shifters. So does it shift up? Yes, it does. Does it shift down? Yes, it does. And then quickly, I like to also check the throttle. So, yep, I can hear that the engine is running. You can see it here as well. So this sim is ready to go. And I can also feel that there is some tension in the wheel. So we know everything here is working correctly. So I'm going to just hang these headphones up, making sure that the headphones are properly cradled so that they're charging. So you're gonna make sure that you do that correctly, otherwise they will be dead. And as default, we do want the game to always be in the headphones. So this is very important. Most customers we will have using the headphones. So I'm gonna go on and check number 2, and we'll be back soon for number 3. So we're at number 2, and I just wanted to point out when I got here that the headphones were incorrectly put in their cradle yesterday. So this is how I found them. I haven't touched them yet. And you can see they're not charging at all. So these headphones are probably gonna be dead. It's very possible because in order to know that they are working, these lights need to be lit, okay? So all this needs to be moving, and then those lights will light up. So it's making its connection, and then they'll light up. So please make sure that these are on here correctly whenever you hang them up. So let's see if they're working. I'll put them on. Yeah. They are still working right now, which is great, but make sure you hang those up. So we're gonna just do all those things. And you see how easy this is? Yep, okay. Number 2 is good. We'll hang up the headsets and keep going. Okay, so for Sims 3 and 4, we also wanna make sure that the D-box is functioning. One quick note is also that this is the steering wheel that should be on the Sims at all times, unless a driver has selected the advanced package with a different wheel. Always should be this. If driver selects the advanced package, when they've completed their races, you should be going back to this wheel. When you go back to this wheel, you should always still test this wheel, so if the next guest comes in, it's working. We don't want to wait until the guest is here before we check to ensure that things are actually functioning properly. So things are good here. I'm gonna check traction control, yes. ABS, yes. Paddles work, yes. And now what I'm gonna do is just give it a little bit of gas and brake, and I'm gonna just make sure that the seat is actually moving. And the seat did dive when I hit the brakes. So this sim is ready to go, and we'll do number 4.